have been wondering about, hey, how's that Wake Up Barstool show doing on Fox Sports?
Oh, it's on?
And I just happened to run into last week. I think Awful Announcing printed a story, others printed a story that in the first week of that show, they never eclipsed 20,000 viewers. I think they
Mm.
got 20,
Mm.
13, 13, and 20. That's I think Craig Carton was doing those type numbers. I think the facility was doing better numbers than that. And I'm not saying this as a diss of Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy. I'm saying it as the reality. What a lot of these television executives are going to have to wrap their brains around is that the internet and YouTube,
Yeah.
and so it's not the same as mainstream
Nope.
TV. And just because something works on the internet doesn't mean it's going to work on mainstream TV. There are elevated expectations for mainstream TV. There's a level of professionalism, there's a level of conversation that people expect when you go to the internet. Profanity and ignorance rule. It's literally, people tell me all the time, man, I wish you cursed more often.
Mhm.
That's what people want from the internet. And so I make this analogy. It's just like the internet, YouTube, what we're on right now, it prefers pornography. Mainstream television prefers R-rated content. You know, not you don't get full nude scenes. The cursing is tamped down. It's more professional. The quality is elevated. The acting is elevated. But on the internet, yeah, put on some raw porn. And so I draw this analogy. It's like I used to say this all the time about TV. That's like inviting someone into your home. See, I watch this TV show. You kind of want to like them. You want them to represent some good values and all that because I'm inviting you into my home. On your laptop and on your cell phone, that's something you do in secret, in private. And your expectations lower and your expectations of raunchiness elevate. And so I'll give you this analogy. You can call someone's house and they'll say, or call their cell phone and they'll say, hey, let me call you right back. I'm watching The Sopranos. No one ever says, hey, let me call you right back. I'm watching some porn. They don't say it because porn is something you do in secret on your laptop and on your cell phone. It's not something you do on your big screen TV in your house unless, you got to be a real freak. But but I'm just anyway, that's the difference. Dave Portnoy is a pornographer. And I say that not to disparage him. Pat McAfee, there's a reason why he's having incredible internet success, but his television ratings are pretty flat and stale. There's the difference between the two disciplines.
Yeah, in your scenario, the latter, I think most people just wouldn't answer the phone or just say, "Look, I'm busy." To be honest, or so I've been told. But anyway, you ever had a great hamburger? It's like, wow, what a hamburger! Double patty, special sauce, little onions, little mustard. I'm more of a French mustard guy. Great poupon. You're like, wow. Doesn't belong at a steakhouse though. Like when you go to a steakhouse, you want a porterhouse, New York cut. You want something from calamari. You don't necessarily want fries, right? It's a burger. A burger belongs in a burger joint. But when you go to steakhouse, one of those fancy ones you go to all the time, you want something different. I think that's what it is. I give Barstool credit. They've made it. They have a great business. It's the American dream. It's capitalism. But I'm not. But again, the stoolies, as they call them, right? They're following is a dedicated group. I don't want to call them a cult, but it's a fan following that goes with them. But I'm not so sure shows of that nature, if you put it on a mainstream network, would play to middle America. What's that old saying? Does it play in Peoria? I'm with you, Jason. I believe there are some successful, high quality, great shows that I watch on YouTube. And I know it just would not work on any real mainstream network.
It and listen, this like Portnoy to me on Big Noon Kickoff isn't going to translate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to disparage. I'm sincerely not trying to trigger Dave, but who knows? I wouldn't blame him for getting triggered because I'm
you
gonna
did.
say he's Ron Jeremy, and a lot of people know that name, but they don't want to see him on mainstream TV. And Dave Portnoy, from the gambling to the profanity to his whole persona, it's it's a bit trashy in a way that's too trashy for mainstream TV. Fox Sports has made a mistake here. And their bet is, and the bet of a lot of mainstream TV, and they're all wrong, and this is why many of them are losing traction, is hey, America's gone trashy. We've made everybody trashy. And the argument that I was making in 2017, 18, 19, 20, when I was at Fox Sports and I was making this argument, I was like, hey man, the Cosby Show would still work today. People are still aspirational. They still want to see a father and a family that they can aspire to. They want to see those values. That's the kind of show you invite into your home and have on your big screen TV, and everybody can walk in and out of the living room and not be offended by the show. And that's what we were doing on Speak for Yourself. Everything on that show was modeled basically after a Cosby Show type vibe. And people loved it. And it's and I'm sorry for saying it because people will hear me as like I'm just reminiscing about the good old days, or I'm trying to point my finger at Fox and say, you were wrong, you were wrong. They were definitely wrong. Our show was growing, but it just didn't fit the model that they wanted. They wanted more buffoonery because they think that's what works, and it just doesn't. It works on the internet, but not on mainstream TV. It's
So I'll go further with that analogy because I was a connoisseur. So with your panelists, you guys became a different world. Think about it.
Yes. No, literally.
That was Hillman. That was Hillman College.
And what we did is we made guys that, everybody played up on that show. We had Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes and these idiots on the show, but they brought a whole different sensibility and a whole different performance because, hey, man, this Marcellus is from the Ivy Leagues. Jason Whitlock is an accomplished journalist. And there's an expectation that we're going to have to speak in complete sentences and not curse and not say stupid stuff because Whitlock will check us right here on the air if we say something stupid. And then by the time you added in Darnell, who played me and Marcellus's little brother, basically, and then Uncle Jimmy at the end just to make people laugh, and he's the old crazy uncle of the family, blah, blah, blah. It was working. It was growing. It was going to build a real audience. Nothing, and I'm about to get myself in real trouble, but this is just factual. Nothing on FS1 has ever built a real audience. Never. And they poured so much money into Undisputed. They should be embarrassed with the ratings they were. We got 250,000 viewers. After all that promotion on Fox NFL Sunday and all that, I would have been embarrassed.